This episode of the What's Happening Delco podcast is sponsored by Delco Meets for Business. Check us out on Meetup at Delco Meets, the number 4 business, and attend one of our incredible networking events. Be sure to register, and we'll see you there. What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Shane, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today, I'm joined by Cory Kastle. Cory, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Rich. What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
I am so excited to hear all that you have going on. You have events that you're organizing. You're a podcaster on multiple levels. But talk to the listener. Tell them about Cory Kastle, what you do, and how you make it all happen.
Yeah, man. Sure. Well, I started wrestling in the pro wrestling atmosphere, so I'm probably most famous for that. I'd say that's where I got my start in the entertainment business, and I was really young. I was still a teenager at the time, so that was the early 2000s. And here I am, all these years later, and I got myself into stand-up comedy, and I got myself into acting, and I got myself into a bunch of like movies and TV shows and things like that to get some credits under my belt. So I got a little bit of that, and then I was like, hey, I'm gonna start podcasting. It was probably about 2012. I was just doing a goof around podcast with my friends. And then we turned that into a Wrestle Talk podcast that we were doing every week. It was only an hour. So a lot of times the way that would go, I would want to dive more into personal stuff, and I'd want to like learn things about people. And I didn't feel like it was because it was like real niche. It was very specific to the pro wrestling television product. So I couldn't talk about like the things that I wanted to talk about. So I didn't leave that show. I stayed on that show, but I then started my own show as well, so that I could have the deeper, weirder conversations with people and just kind of see where their brain's at and see where their mindsets are and see where their evolution has taken them, like where they like started their mindset and where it led to, like where I want to be fascinated by like who got themselves on the journey that they're on and where do they see themselves on it and what's the life lessons they learned inside of that stuff that really fascinated me about the mindset and the thought process of who would find themselves in this position and why.
You talk about the journey. You started wrestling. Who didn't jump off the couch and and pretend like that was the third rope and take out their buddy, take out the coffee table, hear that yelling from the kitchen and just run out of the house? You've evolved and you've reached a world of podcasting. Talk about your current podcast and some of your current projects you're doing.
So right now I do my podcast is called Evolving or Evolving with Cory Kastle. I do that a weekly show. I've been doing that since 2017. It's just having those conversations I was talking to you about. And then I do a podcast with my co-host, Lou Marconi, better known as Beef Stew Lou Marconi from the WWF in the 1990s. He lives in Cleveland. We're actually about to meet for the first time. He's coming to Philly. He's coming to Philly for our wedding, for Alyssa and I's wedding. So he'll be here in June. And so we do the Sunday Stew Pot, which, it's on YouTube and Rumble and Spotify and Apple, wherever you find podcasts. And it's basically, just a hodgepodge, a stew pot, if you will, of just different kinds of topics. And we lend our wrestling expertise into the lens of how we see any of this stuff. Because, everything's a work, brother. And called Rasslecast. That's RASSLE cast with a K. And I do clips every day on that on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel will be youtube.com/@Cory Kastle. And that's CORYKASTLE.
You focus a lot on the wrestling scene, and there are so many people in Delco that love wrestling. Actually, there are quite a few wrestlers that have been professional wrestlers right here in Delco. Talk about, how has wrestling evolved and where is it going from that standpoint? Because We've seen those beginning days that you talk about to where it has become this mega success that even other sports try to emulate the whole wrestling storyline. What is it for you today? What do you see about professional wrestling?
Well, I mean, pro wrestling is so cool. It kind of has shaped culture in so many ways, and it's influential. Before the term influencer was a thing, pro wrestling influenced people. And it dude, how many times did you wear NWO shirts or DX shirts and say suck it to your friends at school? Like it was just part of the zeitgeist. And that attitude era, that whole feeling of what the WWF, WCW, Monday Night Wars were kind of what I'm trying to accomplish with this I'm calling it Monday Night ROFL at Dolan's every Monday night. You can come on down. Tonight is actually the first one. It's going to be April the 6th, but and any Monday night for the next 8 weeks, it's going till Memorial Day. Come on down if you're trying to laugh and you're doing nothing but scrolling on a Monday. Come on down and laugh. I'm calling it the Attitude Era of Comedy. So on the flyer it says the Attitude Era of Comedy. And a little bonus, I'm not even sure if I'm going to announce this or if I'm just going to start doing it. I'm going to just whisper it and see who picks it up. I'm going to be playing like 90s 2000s era pro wrestling theme songs between sets and as the walk up music for the comics. And I'm going to say, like, if somebody were to like write them all down and say like what song it was, I'll give them a prize. That's the plan. I want to turn it into a game for everybody.
I really love your take on what you're doing to bring comedy to the forefront to those that may not just want to go to a comedy show, but you give them a different perspective. Talk about some of the comedians you have lined up, or some of the people that you have joining you on stage, or just even some of the ideas you've created beyond that trivia style esque idea of what you're doing.
Well, I mean, anybody in the comedy scene that's from Delco knows that there aren't any like regular comedy rooms in Delco. So I want to create that environment for people here. Like I moved to Ridley Park in 2024. So I'm still relatively new. So I've been just living and working in Delco. The the people are starving for an environment that they can feel like as a community. And I feel like this can do that. Like meshing together the culture of wrestling and the culture of comedy into one place in Delco where we can build a movement. We can kind of like be groundbreakers on that. Uh, I'm not going to be specific on announcing talent because I don't know exactly when this is going to air, but I know I'm going to be having different talents every week. So I'm treating it like I'm not saying very much that it's an open mic because like anybody will feel like, oh, I'm going to go up there and try. I do want people to try, but I'm gonna hybrid them in. So I'm gonna do like a showcase where like somebody that I announce is gonna get up there and do a 10-minute spot, and then I'm gonna have somebody do a mic spot, which is gonna be like 5 minutes, and then jump back and forth, just so there's a variety of experience levels. And something that other people can go, I want to support this. I want to be a part of this. I want to join in. I want to try stand up. Maybe if you've never tried stand up, show up at 7:30 at Dolan's and write your name down on a piece of paper, and I'll see about shoehorning you in there.
You said some key words there: support and community. And for the mindset of Delco, I think this is something where we would like to latch on and we would like to be supportive and create that community, because in truth, those venues for, let's say, live music exist, but the consistent rooms, as you talk about, they don't exist for comedians. And then you find yourself, all right, I'm going to go to Philly, or I'm going to try my luck or my hand or my craft in the larger cities within the area. But just even practicing, where do you go? Just to have that opportunity to get some feedback. And unless there are those traveling comedy shows, they don't exist. So the question I have for you, Cory, is how is this going to evolve? What do you see it doing, and where would you like to see it go?
I'm really ideally believing in evolving this whole room, is that I'm not just evolving this scene, I'm evolving myself. I'm going to sharpen the blade of having this platform and having this voice here for our community, where everybody who wants to watch me get better, come along for the ride, watch everybody in the community get better at stand-up comedy. So like you can watch a joke start from the beginning and not be that sharp, and then it gets sharper and sharper and sharper and sharper as the weeks go by, because like it's just gonna be a workshop of things. So I'd like to start beyond just, and I'll come back to you with the details on it. I'm gonna start doing in Delco live podcasts where it's like I'm going to treat it like a comedy show, where I'm going to have comedians from Monday Night ROFL come out to the other venue and do a comedy set, and then they're going to come sit at the desk with me like Johnny Carson, and I'm going to interview them about their set, and then we're going to talk about the evolution of their comedy and their, you know, the jokes, because I'm an expert tagger. I can tag someone's joke really good and give them a tag they didn't think they needed.
You're talking about comedy, and growing up, you have your influences in wrestling. Who are some of your influences in comedy that you look at today, either from the past or somebody doing something today that really inspires you, really motivates you?
Some of my biggest inspirations in comedy, and my number one inspiration in comedy and my favorite comedian of all time, is Mitch Hedberg. I love Mitch Hedberg. And if you don't know who Mitch Hedberg is, do a little bit of research on him. The most like one-liner dry delivery guy that there is. And then Brian Regan, if you know who that is, one of my tops. But Mike Birbiglia, Pete Holmes, there's the list is endless of people who've. I'm as much of a fan of comedy as I am of pro wrestling. So like when I was a kid, I would say, when I grow up, I want to be a comedian or a pro wrestler. I didn't know I wanted to be a podcaster too, because that didn't exist yet. So I always tell people, if you feel aimless and you feel lost, maybe the thing that you're supposed to do doesn't exist yet. Be patient. Like we don't all have to have everything all figured out yet.
That is a huge point. In our world, something that does exist today may not be there in 4 years. Something that no one's ever heard of might make the scene next week, and all of a sudden it's the rage. We talked about chat and AI and all those things, and how that's become so proficient in our world that really we've had AI for all these years, but not the assistants, not those people that are creating what we live and breathe in today. Curious, we talk about that. How do you think AI is impacting comedy today?
It's a hybrid. I think it's, some people are really afraid of it going to take their job, but the AI isn't going to have the human timing and be able to read the emotions of the room, things like that. So it's a balance. I don't think anybody has as much to be afraid of as they think they do when it comes to AI taking their jobs or whatever, because it's not. Here's the thing. Here's a bit I'm working on currently. AI is very smart and it might take your job, but it doesn't know what day of the week it is, and it doesn't know what time it is. Like it's a supercomputer, but it doesn't have access to a clock. Like you could talk to AI, and it'll talk to you if you open like different threads. When you jump back on that same thread, it'll still think it's that day, and it'll still think it's that time. Like it's like, oh, all the stuff you've talked about today. I'm like, what? I just started talking to you 5 minutes ago. Like, it's like dementia. It's not taking your job.
you always focus on the human element when we think of AI, and
Right.
that evolves. It becomes more human, it becomes more reactive. I would love to be in a room, perhaps, and maybe this is scary, where because the AI knows you're in the room, because it has facial recognition, it could tell you everything you just texted or emailed over the last 24 hours. And can you imagine somebody on stage already having the knowledge of the audience and how they tailor that show to the audience based on the experiences of who's there, or bringing in those people because they already know? Fascinating and really scary at the same time.
Right. That goes back to me talking about the stuff I wanted to be when I was a kid versus what I wound up being, because what I wanted to be didn't exist yet. Like, we're talking about AI 5 years ago, we wouldn't have been having this conversation. Like, it's going to be able to do this and it's going to be able to do that. We didn't even know it existed yet. We were just like, well, it's so the advancements of technologies are so fast that we don't have time to judge it and say that it's all good or all bad. You gotta learn by doing. Experience is the best teacher.
So, Cory, experience is the best teacher, and you've got a lot of things going on to teach people. How do people find you? All the venues, all the channels. Where do people go to see what Cory Kastle's up to?
You could follow me on all the social medias at Cory Kastle, CORYKASTLE. You get me on all the podcasting platforms. My podcast Evolving and my podcast The Sunday Stew Pot. They're on all the podcasting platforms on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you want to come out and see me live, if you want to join this movement, you want to start the Delco comedy scene, because for sure this area has been in need of it, of a comedy scene and a platform and sharpening. And I've already talked to a lot of comedians about like how excited they are about this platform existing. So I'm excited that everyone is already excited, and I'm excited that anybody who wants to come out and support it and join the movement and really support Dolan's too, man. I mean, as much as I'm just talking about it for comedy, it's a great place. I've been there a bunch of times. I really enjoy it there.
Dolan's is a Delco mainstay. It's where to go to see and be seen. So
Yeah.
get out there to Dolan's. Make sure you check out what's going on with Cory. Cory, you're out and about and you have a cheesesteak craving. Where are you going for your cheesesteak?
But I would say my all time like go to place would probably be Tony Luke's, because the ECW arena was my stomping ground like my whole childhood. So I was always in South Philly, always right by the arena. So Tony Luke's would be my go to right away. If I'm back in Bucksco where I'm from, uh, I was always going to the Works, the Steak and Hoagie Works that was in Levittown. It's probably gone now. And Coco's is pretty good. Coco's is pretty good. I dig Coco's. Um, Zach's hamburgers are good. I haven't had a cheesesteak there though, but I like their burgers a lot.
Hey, we're focusing on burgers now. We'll take this anywhere. You
Yeah.
satisfied that cheesesteak craving, Cory. Where are you going for your pizza?
Coco's is good. Coco's is good for pizza.
Taff, taff. Taff, taff. Taff, taff. Taff treats. Get some.
This portion of the What's Happening Delco podcast is brought to us by Taft Treats. That's TAFF treats.com. Go on their website, check out all the delectable freeze-dried goodies that they have. Find your next favorite. You can find out whether you can order those online or go find out where you can pick those up locally in Delco. And what they want to know, Cory, is what do you like on your pizza?
I'll either have everything or nothing. I'm okay with either or. Like, put everything on there or just cheese and sauce. I'm fine with.
All right, you have a convenience store need, Cory. Where are you going? Wawa, Sheets, or Royal Farms?
Wow, dude. I mean, for sure. Like I, I used to wrestle in Reading a lot, in Reading, Pennsylvania, and there was a Sheets right by the venue that we wrestled at. It was a place called Riverside Memorial Arena in Reading. Man, historical building. It was right by the Reading Phillies Arena. But they had a Sheets that we would go to. We had a show there every single month, and I'd always stop at the Sheets. I like Sheets, but like I'm choosing Wawa over Sheets because I'm loyal to dance with who brought you kind of thing.
Cory, how do you describe Delco to someone who's not lived here or has never lived here and has never heard of Delco before?
It is very similar to where I'm from. I'm from Levittown, so it's very similar to Levittown, Bucks County. But it's very proud. It's very when I first moved here, people would be like, "You're not from here, are you? You don't seem like you're from here." And I would go, "No, I'm not." And they're like, "Where are you from?" And I'd say Levittown, and they would be like, "Okay, we could see that." But I thought they were saying like I seem like I'm from a different country. Like somehow Delco in itself is a country. The co stands for country, not county.
You know what? It's our country. Welcome to it. And we're happy to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have friends or family coming in from out of town. Maybe they're joining you from Levittown and you want to give them to or take them to that Delco experience. Where are you sending them or where are you taking them?
Dolan's probably. Probably Dolan's on a Monday night around 8:00. Monday Night ROFL.
All right. It's going to be Dolan's all day, all the time, especially Monday night for ROFL. I love it. We're coming off the top rope, as I said, and we're bringing the energy. We're bringing the enthusiasm. We're bringing the comedy. This could be the highlight of the year for Delco. All those things that are happening. Monday Night ROFL is going to be the thing you don't want to miss. Cory, thank you so much for being a friend of What's Happening Delco. Thanks for taking the time to be on the What's Happening Delco podcast. We'll see you on Monday nights at Dolan's. And hey, before we go, is there anything that we haven't talked about? Anything you want listeners to know more about you or more about all the things you have going on?
I would just say I'm very open to answering any questions. If anybody ever has any questions to me, for me, just jump onto my social media, send me a DM. I have no problems answering any of your questions. I'm very, very real person. I'm not blowing anyone off. I have time for anybody and everybody.
What I'm hearing you say, Cory, is before you go to chat, go to Cory, and you'll answer all those questions. Thank you so much again, Cory. We can't wait to see you out and about in Delco and have an awesome day.
Thanks, Rich.
The Taft Treats jingle was written, directed, and recorded by Vincent James of Keep Music Alive. Visit keepmusicalive.org to check out their mission, their events, and how you can get involved. Hey, it's Rich. Thank you so much for being a listener to the What's Happening Delco podcast. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to learn more about the people and businesses in our community. I have been a real estate agent for over 25 years working with first-time home buyers to last-time home sellers. As a listener of the podcast, my gift to you is a complimentary 1-year American Home Shield home warranty. This is for buyers and sellers that I help. If you're looking to move anywhere in the United States, I have you covered with an amazing network of real estate agents. I look forward to hearing from you. My direct line is 215-313-3777, or you can email me at rshaneremax@comcast.net. Oh, by the way, I am never too busy for any of your referrals.